let's talk synchronicities real quick. Specifically, the number type. I started seeing them like years ago before it was a popular topic and media existed as heavily as it did today. And, a couple years after that, I thought it was pretty cool. And I didn't pay it that much attention. I just knew it was happening. And some years after that, I stopped in because I wanted to ask somebody about it. I wanted to ask like a sightseer or somebody like, what is this? So I stopped into a Botanica and I was like, I keep on seeing these numbers. And she was like, what number do you see? And I was like, I see 3, 3, 3, and 3, and 1, 3. And she was like, ooh, that's really good, trying to gas me. And I was like, okay. There's not much to make of it after that. And I've always been pretty in touch with that. And then there have been times in my life where I haven't seen anything. Like I haven't seen one sign from God, one sign from source, angels. I would pray and try to reach out. It's like God was not fucking with me, right? And I say God to blanket term. You'll hear me say all sorts of like affirmation, amens, hallelujahs. I don't have a system outside of the one that, my Americanized ass has grown up into. So I'm not going to necessarily adopt any new ones at the moment. But when I say God, I mean like the all universal source energy. Like God was not fucking with me. This period point, like, was not showing up. And I don't know what I did. I started getting into magic. I did that. God started showing up, right? Like, okay, you're putting some work in now, bitch. Okay. So I started seeing my synchronicities, but within the last year, it's been very heavy synchronicities. Like, every time I look at the clock, this synchronicity is like making my head hurt. Synchronicities like, okay, it's enough synchronicities. Like I started writing them down and then it was like, oh, my pages are just filled with synchronicities. It was like, okay. So then 4:55 on the clock. So I started looking up all the numbers. What do the numbers mean? This means this. It means that. And this means this. And this means that. Okay. Now, here's a couple things. The repeating numbers, 55, 44, 33, those are all like, your angels are confirming you are in a good place. Whatever. That one gets on my nerves. However, when you get a set of random numbers, you're so into the synchronicities, you start to get random numbers and you can identify what those mean because those will be a more specific message when you do look it up. So that's good. What I find a lot of the times, though, when I do look up the synchronicities, let's say it's 4411 or 5533, it is a direct reflection of what I am going through at the moment. Sometimes it'll be like, okay, don't give up, Sam. But usually it's a direct reflection. And even don't give up, Sam, is because I feel like giving up. I'm being lazy and I know I should work. And it's like, well, get back to work. So still, it's a direct reflection. So then I start looking deeper into, okay, these things are direct reflections of how I feel. So are these a mirror? Is it my higher self? Is it me? Like playing volleyball with myself, sort of. Is it a reminder that I am divine? And it sent me into a world that I was pushed not to look into, which was angels. Okay, angel number is but no, like angels, like different beings, entities that are around to do things. So that's a little bit of my dive right now. And, they say synchronicities are to let you know that you're on track. And, you're connected. I haven't found a way to really read any deeper message into the code outside of what I already feel, unless the number is very specific. Specific could mean 328. If you're seeing 328 all the time, you could look up 328. Usually people are seeing 1111, 33, 44, but if you're seeing like 502, okay, jump into that. The other numbers you can decipher. 5 means change, 2 means creation, 3 means alignment, 11 is a portal, okay. You can start to understand those. But if you're getting a particular set that is sticking out to you, you can go with it and find that there. Try and find a way. Synchronicities also come in colors. I had a color theory of yellow going on. It made me feel so much joy. Like, I guess my higher self was like, let's give her some joy. Let's yellow her out. Now I find a lot of my synchronicities in nature, and those are specific communications that are for me, with me. There could be, a bird in my direct line. That's my bird that's sent there. What does the bird mean? Well, that's for me. And not that I'm not saying it's not for you, but, those are personal, like inbred sort of like deep meanings that sometimes words won't be able to explain, but you know me. So yeah, synchronicities are confirmations, I believe, from your higher self that you're doing okay, kid. Keep up the work. This is the frequency you're on. Now, I will say there are certain numbers that I don't catch a lot. And that could be for a few reasons. And I think that when I do catch those numbers, it'll mean I'm on a new level. maybe it's because my clock doesn't go up to those numbers that much. There's that. But yeah. All right. Later.